chicken fingers, marinated in nothing but teriyaki sauce for about 10 minutes while your unit preheats, and then cooked in about 8 minutes. I promise you, you're going to love it. Now, you do have to look for chicken breast tenderloins for this recipe. Don't try and buy a chicken breast and cut it up. The chicken breast tenderloins really, I think, is what makes this work so well. And I've got a couple of videos where I marinated them even overnight for 24 hours, and I just didn't think it was worth the hassle, because after about 10 minutes while this unit preheats, it makes them really, really good, and I think you'll agree with me. Let's get it started. Okay, so as I said, chicken breast tenderloins, you have to have them if you ask me. They work a lot better than, say, chicken breast. And you can do it with chicken breast, I'm sure. There's even a tenderloin in a lot of the breasts. Sometimes they remove them, and that's how they get these. But these right here came from Costco. They're not Tyson, but just for record, I threw the tray they came in away, and that is what they cost, which was $2.58 a pound. And I'll say this was the same day at Costco. I made a picture of it. It was $1.98 for chicken breast. So these are a little more expensive, but I'll get off of that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put 4 chicken fingers or chicken tenderloins in that bag, and then I'm going to put this right here. And this is what I've been using all week on my test, and you're going to see some of those tests in my impromptu videos that I'll add to this. But I really liked it. It's been really good. It's Kikkoman teriyaki, and I mean, nobody's paying me. I'm just telling you, it was really good. But if I run out, because you can see I don't have a lot left, I'm going to marinate them in this for sure. And then if I need to add some at the end, and I will, I always pour some over after I cook them. And I'm going to use this Panda Express, which I've used before and I like. Now, some rice would be really neat with this, of course, but we're not doing that because I don't have my pressure cooker set up. All I'm doing is to show you how well these do and how tender they are and how good they are in roughly 8 minutes after it preheats. So I'm going to get some of that started and I'll be right back. Okay, so here are the 4 I picked out. And I tried to move this a little bit because my light is reflecting on it. I wanted you to be able to see the temps and all. But here is the process I'm going to use. I'm going to pour, I don't know, enough to cover those chicken fingers up. And that's all I did the last couple of nights. About that, because I'd like to have enough to finish it with it. I do like this because it has a lot of sesame seeds in it, so it just looks nice. And I'm going to see if that looks like enough right quick. And if it is, I'm going to let it go. And I think so. That's enough. That's all I put on it, was just a little bit. And that's just enough to cover them. That's all you're doing. And it soaks in there a little bit while this unit's going to preheat at, hit air fry. It's already set for my normal time, which I always just do 375 in 15 minutes. I could lower that time, but I'm not going to, because I'm going to pull it out at around 8 minutes cook time. Or we're going to look at the temperature, because all of them are different. All of them are different thicknesses and stuff like that. So, long story short, I'm going to start this thing and get it to preheating, and it does take it. Well, we'll see. Right now, it's 2:02 a.m. Believe it or not, but it is. So we'll actually just switch to 2:03. So as soon as that goes over, we'll know exactly how long these marinated, and then we'll get them in there and get this over with. Be back. All right, for the record, this kind of shows you where it's at. I do like this. This is Instant Pot's new Vortex. It has the window and a light that you can kind of watch what's going on in there when you've got food in there, and I do like that. I've got their original version, and this has become my standalone air fryer with the basket. It is my favorite. But anyhow, we'll let it preheat and see you in a second. Okay, there it goes on add food, and just so you know, it's 2:05, so like 2 minutes. What I'm going to do is open it up. I'm actually going to spray the basket with avocado oil. You can use whatever you have, but I do spray it. That's kind of to help with cleanup, and I just do. And here we go with the marinated chicken fingers. I'm gonna lay them in like I've been doing all week, which is this method right here. And one more. I may move it around just a little bit. I don't want them touching no more than I have to. And I've got teriyaki on my hands, obviously, but you can see that's what they look like in there. And we are going to start it going. And again, we're going by time pretty much. Around 7 or 8 minutes, I'll look at a temp and we'll see what they are. See y'all then. Okay, so one thing I wanted to say was that I set it up for 15 minutes. There's no way I would go that far. But once it tells me to flip the food, which is usually around 7 minutes, that's when they'll be done. And that kind of gives me a reminder. And I don't flip these at any point. They work fine just like this in this particular device, I'll say that. Okay, so we're right at 8 minutes. It normally gives me a flip food right now, so I'm a little confused with that, but I don't want to go very much further. I'm looking at it through the window here, and I can see they're looking like what I think they should, so I'm opening it up, and they look fine. That looks excellent. I mean, that's the way they've been looking all week, and they are usually perfect. So let's just see, here's the thickest part on this one. And yep, I went a little further. I was kind of waiting on it to give me the flip the food, so I don't understand that. But 180, which is not bad, 182. That may be a little further. Yeah, that one went a little further. That's almost 200, 190 or so. So same thing here. But my point is, it'll be fine. 186, obviously, my point, they're done. So what we're going to do is take them out of here and let them rest just a minute, kind of cool down. And I may put a little more teriyaki on them. I will say I don't know why it didn't give me the flip feature, because it usually does that. I was thinking at the 7 minute mark, but it doesn't matter. We'll let those cool down just a minute. We're gonna, whoops, I don't want that running. We're gonna cut them up and then add a little more of this. And you can see I still got plenty. I think I got enough to do the whole meal with. So be back. Okay, so just to let you know, and honestly, 7 minutes would have been my target. So when it flipped to 8 minutes is when I could have sworn is when they've been telling me to flip them, but I let it run a little bit longer. But 178, that's fine. But my point is, they're done in a hurry. I mean, you can see that. They are unflipped. I didn't even flip them or anything. And you're seeing 170-degree chicken that's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with. I'm going to adjust this camera just a little bit and kind of show you what I've been doing with them, which is just a little bit more of this sauce. And that thing's going to bother me with all that beeping, so I'm going to hit cancel. And I just been pouring a little more sauce over them. And again, if you had some rice and then put this over a bed of rice, which is just, I'm not trying to do the meal here. I just wanted to show you how well these and how fast they cook up and how good they are. I mean, they are absolutely excellent. I could probably cut it with a fork, but this works. And if it was on a bed of rice, I don't have to tell you how that would be, and I'll let you see it right quick if I can keep from making too big of a mess. But you can see the chicken's done. It has an excellent flavor. It's tender. It is super tender. Now, that may have to do with the marinade, but it also most likely has to do with using the chicken tenderloins. They are worth buying, and excellent, absolutely excellent. And again, on a bed of rice with maybe some scallions, some green to make them a little prettier, that would be as good as it's going to get. I'll just leave it like that. I'm going to drop in some video where I kind of did some for 24 hours. And just so you'll know, I videoed it. I didn't have a microphone on or nothing. But you can kind of see how they looked a little bit different between, I think the ones I videoed were, some I had marinated for 1 hour, and then some that were 24 hours, and then some that were 10 minutes. So Anyhow, this works, y'all. You'll love it. It's quick. It's easy. Your family will love it. Again, make sure you get the chicken breast tenderloins. I think that's the biggest part of this. Love y'all. Come back to see me. Bye. Okay, it's telling me to turn the food. I'm not going to because I didn't flip them last night. But it has been 7 minutes, and I don't want to overshoot this chicken. So I'm going to take a look. And you can see they get done pretty quick. Let's see what the numbers are. We got 153 right there. 160, 162. We may be done. Let's see. That one's 143. That one, some of the smaller ones may be done. And I may pull that one out. I'm going to pull those two out. In fact, I think I'm good on all of them. There's 169. Yeah. I'm going to check this one right here one more time. Yeah, this one right here is still low. All right, I'm going to get them out the same way that I put them in. Here's the ones that's marinated for an hour. That one and this one. And then this one right here was the ones that were, that's the one that's 24 hours. I'm going to let this one go just another minute or two. And I'll be back. All right, I'm going to check this one again. This is the one that's been in there an hour. And we're 163. Well, that's 165. We're good. So I'm going to let them all rest just a minute longer. And I'll show you now how they look. Turn that off. Well, just won't close the drawer. You can see that the one that's been in there 24 hours is a little darker, so I am expecting a little bit of difference. But the other three, they look really close. Well, taste is what matters. And if they're anywhere near as good as that 4-hour last night, I'm happy with it. These right here would obviously be the ones I would like to be good because they were the simplest. No time, but we'll know in a minute. All right, they have, let me zoom that back a little bit. They have rested a minute, and again, you can see a little bit of difference right here. That one's a little darker. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna bring that camera in just a little bit again. Let's see, because I'm gonna cut them, and hopefully you're gonna be able to see them better than that. I'm gonna move the camera because I can't get my tripod to act right. But here we go. We're going to cut this one right down the middle. And that one is the 1 hour. And here are the ones that I pretty much just put them on there right before I put them in. And then here's the one that's 24 hours. I'm going to turn that back like it was to keep them getting confused. And then each one of them I'm going to kind of show you. This ain't going to be quiet. Hang on. It's beeping. I'm just going to... hopefully it'll cut off in just a second. I got to get this towel again, so... y'all bear with me. All right. The 24-hour one. There it is. And you can't really see any differences. Whoops, I don't have my camera right. You can't really see any differences. That's the 1 hour right there. And I'm sorry I got this zoomed where I do, but hopefully you get the gist of what I'm trying to do. And then here's the ones that were immediately pretty much right before, just let the unit preheat. So now just to taste them to tell, and again, if they're anywhere near as good as what was last night, they're worth doing. I'll put it like that. So the 1 hour one, it's there. It's definitely there. Obviously, it's a little less than last night's, and I can kind of tell by looking at the color. Here, well, there's no doubt. The teriyaki comes through better. And, I mean, that would be obvious. The thing, though, is that it's so tender. The chicken is so tender. For it being white meat, and I normally would never do teriyaki on white meat. But these chicken tenders seem to do a little different than, say, than a breast. It's just a lot moister of a meat. Nothing wrong with none of them. They're all very good chicken. You can tell by looking. They're not dry. I think the teriyaki helps that. And what I did last night was salt. I put my special salt, which is what I'll do tonight. I'll say special salt, just kosher salt. And then I poured a little bit more of this on there. And I'm going to back that up. I'm not used to it being that close. Poured some of this on there. My point is, although you might not normally do teriyaki on a white meat chicken, these work perfect. So anyhow, back to the video where we are. I don't know that I think it's had a little better, but I don't know that it's worth, the 4 hours or